Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the 87th Annual Texas High School Coaches Association Convention in Houston, Texas. We are here at the Built with Chocolate Milk Coaches Lounge, and we've got another guest in the studio, head coach of the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, Coach Joe Willis. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Very good to be with you.
Now, you are a Houston guy originally, right? You were from the Houston area,
From
correct?
the Houston area, northeast of Houston, correct.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the area.
Yeah, and I think the city of Houston's done a great job with their downtown area and some of the setup here around coaching school. They've done a good job, and it's a good turnout so far.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to date myself, but I mean, none of this stuff was here, when I was going through high school. But yeah, they have done a great job with the downtown area.
Now, when you come to coaching school, there's every coach always has a list of items they want to get done. And like I said, I don't want to date you either, but you've been around a little bit. So you know how the routine goes. What's on your kind of checklist that you need to get done when you're here?
Well, of course, this is my 26th overall coaching school, and I haven't really missed a coaching school since I've been coaching. So, I've come every year. 10 or 11 of those as a head coach, and usually you do have some things that you're looking at. But I'll be honest with you, we do most of our ordering back in the spring. We've already kind of gone through all the purchasing that we're going to go through. But I do like to come here and see all the newest, the latest, and the greatest, things that are out there. You go around the booths and you'll see some of these things that you think, well, you know what, next year I want one of those at our place too. And, Rogers has got a pop-up that rolls around on its own automatic. That's something I'm going to purchase, something I'm going to get to. It's a good place to find some ideas for the next time around.
All right, now your district is not the easiest in the world. You got some really good football teams in your district. When we look ahead to 2019, I know you guys expect to be near the top of the standings. You have high expectations for your ball club. What kind of ball club do you expect to see, and how do you think your team can, how do you see things shaking out in the district? Well,
I think you're right. One, I mean, we're in a very competitive district, and you can look at that in two ways. I think that's a great thing for us because anytime you're in a district where you got to go in and you're going to have some battles week in and week out, I think it really prepares you and gives you some motivation during your off season. So that's really kind of what we do. We build on that through the off season. And we did have a down year last year, but I'll say this: I was proud of our kids. Our group went through a lot last year. We didn't have a home stadium to play.
I was going to ask you segued right into that. How tough was that to not have a home stadium and play basically all your games on the road?
Our kids handled it well, and it was a situation that was unavoidable. Our district did a great job trying to prepare and get the stadium ready for us, but it just didn't work out. I mean,
and the weather wasn't cooperating.
Can't control any of that, and our kids they handled that well. Our kids didn't say one thing to me about we don't have a home stadium. But it is something. When you're a senior especially, you want to play in that home stadium and defend your own turf, and our kids didn't get a chance to do that. And that was just one of the setbacks. We had some things shift around on us right before summer, coaching staff wise and kid wise there, and we had some injuries through the course of the year to some of our better players. So but I've always been real impressed with the Colleyville Heritage kids, the way they handle those situations and the way they bounce back. We started 3 freshmen on our defense last year, and to be honest with you, I've never started 3 sophomores on the defense before. But
we're not talking 2A football here. We're talking 5A division, Big 5A Division I in the Metroplex.
And it takes a special kind of kid to be able to do that. But these kids handled it well, and I thought they were ready. And, that's going to help us as we go down the road. And so I'm really excited about the turnaround this year because a lot of those same kids are back. I'm excited about we've got a quarterback who played quite a bit last year as a sophomore, and A.J. Smith. He's going to be a junior this year. Very talented, got great arm talent, very bright kid. We've got Chad Turner, who was actually our leading receiver. Cam Brown was injured for most of the year, and Chad ended up being our leading receiver, so we've got him back. Braden Gerlich has done a great job and really showed off a great skill set this spring. So, and then our offense and defensive line, I really feel like are going to be the strength of our team. So I'm excited about what we can do this year.
Gerlich, he probably gets that athleticism from his mom's side, right?
I'm not going to say anything because I work for his dad, but I think there's a pretty good chance, yeah.
Coach Gerlich is a the one you work for. He's a great guy, but I think Mama's got the DNA. She's definitely was a good athlete in her day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's look ahead to let's look back a little bit in the summer strength and conditioning and the rules changes that were made. How beneficial was that this summer to have those 2 hours to use sport specific skill set?
Well, it's a game changer. I've been fighting for that for really 6 years. 6 years ago, went to Mac Brown and sat down with his staff at Texas, and he was very much in our corner and speaking out for us, because he was already seeing at the collegiate level some of the problems that were happening when some of these other associations had developed, and he told me very frankly that he wanted to see us have more control in the summer of our kids, and so the discussion has been very two-tier over the years. It's there's one half of it is working with our kids in 7-on-7, and I don't know that I'm necessarily a proponent for that as much as I was for the skill. My argument has always been, because literally in the summer strength and conditioning program, we would go out and we would have our kids bring these 2-liter bottles of Coke where they pour the Coke out and put water in, and that's what they carried around as footballs. And over the course of the years, my argument has been, why would we do that? I mean, let's get a football. Let's work through some skills. I don't have to coach them in 7-on-7 as long as I have that 2 hours a week where I can continue to work with our kids. And they rely on me, because the bottom line is, if I'm not training them, if I'm not giving them opportunities, they're going to find them somewhere. And I think that's where some of the problems have really started.
Now, you guys did spring ball this year, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So how helpful is it for the UIL to also, a couple of years ago, they changed that rule. They let schools that have spring ball still bring the freshmen in a week early. How helpful is that, just to get the freshmen acclimated to the new system in school?
Yeah, that's big too. And to be quite honest with you, we had always had our freshman camp that week anyway. So we were already to a degree doing that. We just weren't doing that in helmets and adding the pads as we went on.
Yeah.
Correct.
You can just pass just getting equipment handed out is a
exactly. That's big, because again, your freshmen they're a full 18 practices or 15 practices, whatever you take in the spring. They're that much behind at the time. So to get them in that extra week and have your whole entire coaching staff just with those freshmen to pay attention to those guys, that's huge.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, we're going to have you spin the wheel of questions here. The Dick's Sporting Goods wheel of questions. So I want you to give that a spin and answer it truthfully and honestly.
Okay, well, I don't know about the honest part, but we'll go for it.
All right.
Oh, that's easy.
All right.
Yeah.
So Max, Tepper, and Ish and I come over to the Willis household to have some dinner.
Well, there's my wife right there. You can ask her.
What are we having to eat?
Well, I'm a steak guy.
Steak.
That's it. I'm a steak guy.
Are you grilling the steaks?
I'm grilling the steak. And,
okay.
And I'm. You can ask my wife. That's my thing. So.
Does he grill a good steak? Okay, he does a good steak. Okay, how do you like your steak?
Medium, all the way.
Yes,
yeah.
Smart man right there.
Absolutely.
Okay, then what sides are we having? What do you prefer? From sides?
I don't. I'm gonna leave the sides to Amber, because she's much better at that kind of thing. Right. So
I'm a baked potato, mac and cheese.
Yeah, well, but. Yeah. So what she said.
Okay, there you go. Steak is good. I like that. We need to arrange that. So. Coach, I'm a medium steak guy myself, so smart man. Now, do you have a special? I don't want you to give away your special seasoning mix, but do you have a?
I'll say this: I get.
Do you have your own rub?
Yeah, I do. But it goes back to my West Texas, days, and I learned a long time ago out in West Texas with the steak prep that you keep it pretty simple, and it's only a few things you add on there. I won't tell you today, but come by sometime.
Okay, I need to sample it. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time,
absolutely.
and we appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Thank you.